Well, good afternoon, everybody. Emily, thank you so much for having us here today. And I'm excited to tell you all about Rocky Mountaineer. My name is Danny Becker. I'm the Business Development Manager. I'm based in Dallas. And I should say I'm BDM for the Southwest region there. I have 7 other counterparts in the USA. But since I only have a limited amount of time to go through these, let me go ahead and get right into this. This is our new kind of our opening slide for our brand new route. It's called Rockies to Red Rocks. It's from Denver, and the interim stop is in Glenwood Springs, Colorado, and then on to Moab, Utah. And I'm going to get into that and show you a quick slide and video here in a few minutes. But first, let me give you a little bit of information about Rocky Mountaineer in general. So why Rocky Mountaineer? Well, that's why you're listening, right? To find out more about our experience. And I'll tell you, when we talk about the experience, we talk about a lot of things, but we really focus on about 5 or 6 key attributes of the Rocky Mountaineer experience. Number one being an all-dome, state-of-the-art fleet of rail cars. This is one of our brand new 3.0 or 3rd generation Gold Leaf cars. They hold 68. You can see the beautiful glass platform you have to look through. Most of those seats that you see there swivel, and we have gourmet, and they're twin level, by the way, these cars are. There is a spiral staircase on either end. There's a small lift on board as well to take you downstairs to the passenger or the dining area, excuse me, and our outdoor viewing platform and the restrooms as well. And most of those seats that you see there will swivel. So if you have 2 couples traveling together, then you can have the host push a pedal on the seat and one side turns around, and voila, you have people facing each other. So that's the first thing we focus on. The next thing is our gourmet cuisine, particularly in Gold Leaf. We have a Michelin trained chef in every Gold Leaf car. Our executive chefs are constantly going back and forth to make sure that everything is done perfectly in all of our Gold Leaf kitchens. And the magic they do in these little kitchens is pretty amazing. It is stunning cuisine. There's something very surreal, but very special about going through the wilderness on this very comfortable train and enjoying a gourmet meal. The next thing we focus on is our dreamy hotel partners. You know, we don't sleep on the train. We put you up in nice hotels at night. I say we don't sleep on the train. That is unless you want to take a quick nap. But that's one of our best hotel partners in all of Canada. That's one of their most famous hotels. That's the famous Fairmont Banff Springs. And some of the others in that area we'll see here momentarily. But we don't just deal with Fairmont, but we have a lot of other hotel partners that we accommodate our guests with. But Fairmont is by far our number one hotel partner in the Western Canadian Rockies.
Yeah, I've had clients stay there and they've loved it.
You did? You stayed at the Fairmont Banff Springs?
I've had clients stay there and absolutely love it.
It's a phenomenal old property, and they've got some great restaurants there. It's just amazing, and Banff is a fantastic place anyway, with a lot to do and see there. A lot of great hotels that we use downtown too. But here's our 3 seasons. Typically we start mid-April and end in mid-October, so we're a seasonal experience. And but this year we're starting a little bit later, starting in late April and ending a little bit early October. So it's not uncommon for Lake Louise to be frozen. That's Lake Louise you see on the left there. Not uncommon at all to see it frozen until early June. But that middle picture there is bigger for a reason. That's what you see in the middle, the mid June, I would say, to mid-September timeframe. The days are longer and warmer. And my favorite though is the fall timeframe. The mid-September through mid-October timeframe, typically, like I said, ending a little bit earlier this year. What we do best is we customize your journeys, especially on either end of the rail car, or either end of the rail trip. And this is one of our outdoor viewing platforms on our Gold Leaf cars. And these platforms are exclusive to the Gold Leaf members on that car. And I love this picture because it's this kind of dreamy picture of these ladies looking at the bridge they just crossed over. But you'll see on customized journeys here in just a minute more of what I'm talking about. And then world-class service, you can have all the great domed cars and, the wonderful food and and all of that. But unless you have world-class service, which we're known for, you're kind of missing something, right? And so we got a net promoter score of 82 in 2019, which is not only one of the highest in the travel industry, it's one of the highest in any industry. Net promoter score is a measure of how likely our guests are to recommend friends and family. So much so that we've kind of adopted the saying, life-changing experiences, because we see it and hear it. We see it on our comment cards. We hear it from our previous guests at events, in-person events, and what have you. And this is our route map in Western Canada. And you can see we have 3 primary routes. The red route is probably our most popular route. It's called First Passage to the West. Has an interim stop there in Kamloops. And then the blue route is called Journey Through the Clouds, and the green route is called Rainforest to Gold Rush. That's our longest, almost 3-day route. And so you can take Rocky Mountaineer either from Vancouver or from Calgary. And what I meant earlier when I was talking about customizability is when you're on the train, either eastbound or westbound, that's the same fantastic quality experience for everyone, whether you're Silverleaf or Goldleaf. But it's on the either end, in Vancouver. If you wanted to spend a couple of days and go over to Victoria and stay in the famous Fairmont Empress over there, you can do that. Or if you wanted to spend extra time in Banff and Lake Louise or Canmore, Jasper, or Calgary, we can build a custom package on that end for you as well. And here's from some of our fantastic hotel partners. Other partners, I mentioned that one, it's the bottom center. That, of course, is what we looked at earlier, the Fairmont Banff Springs. The top left hotel, though, is the also famous Chateau Lake Louise, and that's a very unique picture of that property. It's looking from the other side of the lake over to the hotel. Usually, you see that picture from kind of behind the hotel, looking at the lake, but that's a stunning picture as well. And then bottom left is the famous Jasper Park Lodge, and then top right is the La Germain, and I think bottom right is an interior shot of one of the suites at the Four Seasons Whistler. So some of the more popular one-way packages in Canada are this one, and a sister package to this is called First Passage to the West at Leisure, which has an additional day each in Lake Louise and Banff. This one's called First Passage to the West Highlights. That one would be called At Leisure. What we're finding is a lot more people really want more time on the train. They tell us that. They say, we had a wonderful time on the train, but we really wanted more rail time. And so this is called a Circle Journey. And you can find more about this by calling Emily, and she'll consult with our vacation consultants and build the perfect circle journey for you. This is one of them. My favorite is one called the Grand Rail Circle that has an extra day in Banff, actually. That's about a 12-night, 13-day trip. So some of the awards we've won, Travel Weekly's Reader's Choice Awards, that's our travel agent partners voting on us. We're very proud of that one, especially because we've won that now about 12, 13 times, somewhere around in there in our 30-year history. And so service levels, let me just talk about that really quickly, and then I'll show you a quick preview video of our new US route. But service levels, here's our Silverleaf car. Those hold 56, they're single level. It's a great class of service. The food is excellent. And you'll see, if you go online, you'll on our website, you'll see a picture, or you'll be able to find some pictures of the interior of that. I just didn't have time to show those today. But the difference here is that in Goldleaf, as I mentioned earlier, there's 2 seatings, and you go down to the Goldleaf dining car. In Silverleaf, all of your meals, snacks, and drinks are served seat side at, like first class on an airline. But nevertheless, either class of service, everything is included on the train. You will want for nothing on the train. I promise you that. So now here announcing Rockies to the Red Rocks new route. We've been thinking about doing this for several years now. And our owner early in the year, when the COVID epidemic hit, he said, you know what, if we can't bring our US guests to ride our train, then we're going to bring our train to our US guests. And that's what we've done. It's called Rockies to the Red Rocks. It starts August 15th, 20 departures westbound and 20 eastbound. And here's the quick little Rockies to the Red Rocks intro video, and then I think we're going to talk a little bit and take some Q&A and talk about Rocky Mountaineer in general. So here's that intro video for our new route, Rockies to the Red Rocks.
An extraordinary place deserves an extraordinary way to see it. Our newest route, Rockies to the Red Rocks, brings 30 years of Rocky Mountaineers' world-class service to the stunning desert vistas of the American Southwest. Traveling from the vibrant Denver, Colorado, past some of nature's wonders, vast canyons, chromatic deserts, and panoramic views, to the mesmerizing red rock landscapes that twist through the bright blue sky. It's rail travel at its best. After all, if you're going to see an extraordinary place, you want an extraordinary way to see it.
Awesome. I'm so excited about that route.
We are too. We are too. Would you like me to stop sharing? And
That's perfect. Yes, that'd be great.
all right, there we go.
All right. Let's go back over here. So, Danny, somebody was asking, what about the luggage? So how do people, bring all their stuff, and what do they do with that?
I'm so glad you asked that question, because this being a little bit shorter presentation than I typically do, I didn't talk about that today, and I usually do, and it's very special the way we handle it. When you check in for one of our packages with Rocky Mountaineer, we handle your luggage completely. We issue you special tags. It's in your hotel room the next day. Like, for instance, if you're going westbound on the new RTR route, we'll take your bags at the hotel in Denver and place them in your hotel room, and you have them packed in the morning at a specific time that we tell you about, and then they're trucked ahead of the train to Glenwood Springs the next day, just like it is in Canada too. So your bags always follow you, so no schlepping bags. And I cannot tell you how many great comments we get from people about that one aspect of Rocky Mountaineer, among many others. But that's a very special thing, because people just don't want to be schlepping their bags all over the place. So thanks for asking that.
Yeah, that's perfect. So does that also, just to elaborate on that, does that also include like their check-in? And how does that work for when, somebody's getting off the train and they've selected their hotel? So can you talk a little bit about that?
If they're booking their package through us, so we know where their hotels are, we're going to be giving them, like for instance, though, in Glenwood Springs, the hotels are all right there in downtown Glenwood Springs. There's no need for transfers there, but their luggage will already be in their hotels there in that interim stop. That Glenwood Springs is the only one that we actually select the hotel ourselves, because we have a limited amount of inventory there and we have to manage it closely. But like when you get to Moab, for instance, you do have some selection ability there for the Moab hotel, and there's 3 primary ones that we're using, and we transfer them, our guests, to the Moab hotel, and their bags here again will be in their hotel room waiting on them. So we know not only which hotel everybody's staying at, but which room, and we have all that. We've gotten very good at that over the years, so that's all done for them.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you basically just sounds like you just show up and enjoy. And, you basically are on what's the next thing in your itinerary, and some's like also some people's itinerary that you might be traveling with might be different, than the next person as far as how long you might stay somewhere. So another person's asking, can they add their flights to this trip?
we do not do the air. So we're going to leave the air up to you, the travel agent, or the individual themselves, as far as doing the air. So
Perfect.
it's
Yeah.
just something not, we're a relatively small company and just something that we've not gotten into doing.
No
over-
problem. I can take care of those flights for them. A lot of people use Southwest flights and points from this area, from Nashville specifically, as well. So that's great.
And I
Um,
will say, Emily, that one of our packages, I think actually takes in some of the area around Colorado Springs. So that's flying into Colorado Springs is another possibility as well.
Yeah, and so people can also, work with me directly, but I can work with the Rocky Mountaineer, and Danny, correct me if I'm wrong, to help you with if you want to come into town a couple of days early, and we can get you set up with your hotel and whatever, kind of like a cruise in the sense that whatever you would like to do ahead of time or after, we can also help accommodate those details. Is that
Right. There are 18 FIT packages altogether.
Mhm.
And when you consider both eastbound and westbound, some are very short, some are much longer and end up in Las Vegas, and several of them end up in Salt Lake City as well. We can customize the hotels for this particular route in Denver and Moab. From what I'm told, because this is our interim season, the other packages kind of have to stay the same, at least for the majority of the package. And then if you wanted to add days on your own in, let's say, Las Vegas or Salt Lake City, you can do that. Does that
That's
make sense?
perfect. That's great. Well, I think that's it. Thank you so much, Danny. And, we want to thank you all for attending our vacation show and tell. And you will be receiving a follow-up email with details for how to set up a vacation consultation. And if you were somebody who was not able to attend and you're watching this on video, just let me know if you're ready to book this getaway. Grab a time on my consultation calendar. And of course, also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm going to go to my last slide here. Thank you so much, Danny, for your time. And this was awesome. I love this vacation, and I myself am looking for the date that I can come. And I'd really like to do the Canadian tour in the next couple of years. It's very high on my list of trips to take. So I look forward to when I get the chance to sharing more with my clients as well. So thank you so much, Danny. I appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Emily. It was great. And I hope we'll see you all on Rocky Mountaineer sometime this year. Thanks again and have a great rest of your week.
You too. Bye.